First of all, I'm gonna show you how to make a simple water droplet. Things you need to keep in mind is that water droplet is not always in a perfect circle. The shapes are very organic and uneven, even wavy sometimes. Here are examples of the droplet's shapes. Now, after we understand the shape of the droplet, we will learn about the light source that you see in those water droplet pics. Now, please do not be afraid of using references. Instead, you must use them in order to get it right. Back to our droplet. First of all, after creating the shape, you can fill the basic color of the droplet with a similar tone to our background. Yes, water is transparent, but water does have its own dimension. Thus, its surface is covered with some foggy or muddy shadows, but just very little and subtle. To get this foggy tone, we can go for colors in the gray area. After covering the droplet, we can go for the light source. Now, if you see in this part, the light source is coming from that side, thus creating a very projective light shape. We are going to add that part to our water droplet. Next, do you see these subtle, but not so clear light sources here? Yes, they are the light source that is coming from the same direction, but refracted inside the water. We will call it a reflection light. The next part is the shadows. Of course, we won't ignore those darker parts. They are shadows that are created when a droplet is made because they do have volume. Let's get started and create the shadows. As you can see, the value of the shadows are kind of dispersed here. To create that kind of effect, we will go to our blending tools and choose one that is more effective to use for you. For me, it's the normal blend brush over here. Now we're blending the shadow so it will have a natural look on it. It's done, but it still feels lacking, huh? That is because, if we look again at our references, the shadow is not only on this part, but it also has something called the cast shadow, which is made because it was projecting the dominant light side. The cast shadow is normally bold, very clear, and a little bit softer on the side. We will also add the cast shadow on this side. The water droplet is finally done. You've made it. I will be making some of the droplets by summarizing what we've learned so far. First, we draw the shapes. Then we color the inside of the shape with darker or duller colors from the background. Next, we can add the light spot after setting the light source. For example, the light source is on this side. Then we add reflection light, shadow, and cast shadow. You can do it out of order to your liking. The next one we're going to make is flowing water. I'm using a reference of water pouring to transparent glass, but we won't need the glass and only focus on the water. First, we're creating the shape of flowing water by creating 2 lines of slimy shape, then connecting the line with a flow of ripples. Then we color the shape with duller or darker color, but do it pretty subtly. The next one is adding the light shape according to the light source. Then we will add some color that resembles the color of the ordinary water, since we are not using transparent glass. And the last one is the shadow. I'm using a very dark blue color, almost black. We won't blend them too much like the droplets for the shadow. It's crazy how we can learn so much from a single droplet, right? The shadow are being drawn following the flow of the water. Don't put it too much or the water will change color to dark blue. What I'm doing now is just drawing random blobs to fill up the ripples. Now, I'm going to speed up the footage. Now we're going to create a calm ocean wave. First of all, to get the right tone for waves in any color, I suggest you always use a lighter color to create a wavy effect on the water. You can use a mid-tone in a lighter color in an example for a dark blue. What I'm doing here is creating a several waves with dark blue background as the color of the sea and lighter blue as the waves. The second one is also the same. I'm using a blue background and lighter blue to create the waves. For the shape, well, the wavy shape is uneven and non-symmetrical, of course. You can do scribbly lines as I did here, but you can also explore other shapes. I'm using the shapes divided into long, mid, and short shapes. Now we're going to paint the primary color of the ocean water. The color is divided into 3 from the reference. We use dark blue at the bottom, blue at the middle, and pale blue to white at the upper side that is hit by the sunlight. Thus, I am putting those 3 colors and blending them. To start painting the waves, we start with the bottom part, the darkest blue. I am using a mix of gray and white colors to create and color the shape of the waves. I keep doing it until I fill the darkest blue part with wavy shapes. I am also going the same way, with the middle and upper colors. Now I will speed up the footage.
What if it's me looking down on me? The world above must also be. This could go on for infinity. Color coded just to keep me sane. My world is finally starting to take shape.
After I am done setting the shapes, I'm going to blend all of them together. Make sure not to blend them entirely so they don't look too blurry and miss the shape. My tips here are that you can blend only the projecting edge of each wavy shape, and then connect them with more paint progress. And I guess we're done now. Here is the final result. Of course, it is not perfect, but I can say that I am pretty okay with it. Anyway, do you know that you can skip all these works using the Clip Studio's assets? The last one I will share with you today is how to create the Seashore's wave. Yep, these are the waves you often see on Pinterest. Keyword phone wallpaper beat. Haha. First of all, I will start with blocking all the canvas with the bottom part of the reference picture, the sand. The sand has a warm color, and I'm going to color pick that, then change the saturation a bit warmer, because I like warmer colors. In the middle part, I'm adding a bondy blue color, with a darker part on top of it, and a lighter part on the bottom, representing the algae I suppose. The last important part one will add is the foam, or the bubble, whatever you name it. I'm using a slightly darker part of white, because using a pure white of color is not in my taste. The foam I am making is somewhat wavy and messier to imitate its natural form. In the next part, I'm starting with the foam, once again because I am impatient. Now, what I do is color pick the darker part of the seawater, then create a sharp oval shape on the edge of the foam. This all makes a bubble illusion. The next bubble is the same, but I'm using the blend tool to get the middle color of white and dark blue to look more natural this way. I keep creating the bubbles in the unnatural shapes of oval, small and big dots. Keep blending the color until they look fit with the foam. I'm also extending the shape of the foam, so it kind of looks like a spider web from afar. You can use spider web pictures as references, I'd say. The foam is also being added on top of the water to create an illusion of moving waves. And last, I'm painting the sand. Shape is similar to the bubbles, a variety of oval shapes. Now, it looks like it's done. Here is the final result.